It's now 47 Democrats who are very concerned about the administration's plans to shelve Title 42 next month. I remember when it used to be just one. My next guest, Henry Cuellar, the Texas congressman, kind enough to join us right now. Congressman, very good to see you. There are 46 others now who share your concern, but way beyond Title 42. But it looks like Title 42 is still going to go away. The administration talks about a backup plan, a new plan. Do you know anything about that plan?
You know, I've seen parts of it, and part of it means that they want to bring officers from the northern part over to the southern area. And you know, Neil, that's going to be just something that's going to be temporary. And the metrics that I think they're looking at is how do we move the migrants faster from the border to the interior? And I don't think that's a plan, without due respect. And this is why there's other Democrats, senators, and congressmen that have a problem, because what we're seeing is it's literally an open border. It's an open border, and the more people come in across and the Title 42 goes away, the numbers are going to definitely increase, and we're going to see a situation where Border Patrol is going to continue to be overwhelmed.
You know, Congressman, I remember, and you were very honest about it. You blasted Republicans and Democrats for not doing more to come up with comprehensive reform. Be that as it may, early on with the Biden administration, you were also trying to say what we've got is a serious problem here, and it's getting much, much worse. How has the administration responded to you personally, Congressman, and your constant entreaties and warnings about this?
Well, you know, I certainly have talked to folks at the White House and at the Homeland Security. And I think the career people, that is the men and women in green and blue, understand what the problem is. They understand what the problem is. But unfortunately, some folks only look at the stakeholders of the activists, the immigration activists. But I don't think they're paying attention to the men and women in green and blue. And they're certainly not listening to the border communities, the sheriffs, the judges, the mayors, and people down at the border, or the landowners itself. So you got to listen to the communities at the border, and you certainly have to listen to our men and women from Homeland.
You know, we're getting different vibes from the White House, though, Congressman. I know the Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas had acknowledged that the planned end to Title 42 could pose significant challenges for the U.S. government. But it does not appear that, at least at this point, I could be missing something, is hearing that or responding to that.
Well, you know, I think anybody that's familiar with Homeland understands that there is a problem, and this problem is going to be magnified after May 23rd. The criminal organizations know exactly what our policies are and what our policies are not. And they have been promoting and marketing that after the May 23rd, the borders are going to be wide open. And the more people they bring in, as you know, let's say the average is $8,000 per individual, the more money they make. So they're going to market this. They're going to go ahead and promote this and use this policy and a lack of a plan at the border to send more people over here. I mean, Neil, look, in 6 months, we had over 1 million encounters, and that doesn't even include the getaways. This last month, we had 221,000 individuals. So the numbers are going to continue getting larger and larger, and it's unfortunate. And I'm glad that there are other Democrats, both in the Senate and the Congress, that are seeing what I've been seeing for a while.
Do some in the party tell you to shut up? Do they prefer that you not keep mentioning this?
No, actually, you know, some of my colleagues understand what I'm doing.
Well, now they do. Some of your colleagues are nervous and looking at the midterms. You were doing this long before the midterms. So I'm wondering, did you go through a period there where, hey, just pipe down?
No, I never had anybody tell me that. I assume some of them were probably thinking that. But I can tell you, my Republican colleagues have been telling me, you know, in jest, but they mean this. They're saying, boy, you sure are, you know, the administration is handing over a perfect narrative for Republicans to go after Democrats in November. And they just don't understand why that's being handed over to the Republicans, this narrative of open borders down at the in our southern area.
Congressman, while I still have you, there was a great hullabaloo not too many months back when FBI agents raided your home. They were taking boxes out. You have since said, I think, sir, that there was some sort of a probe going on, but that you are not a target in that. Could you update me?
Well, that's what my attorney told me from his conversations with the department. And again, listen, I got 3 brothers that are peace officers. I have a great respect to law enforcement. I'll continue to go ahead and cooperate. But I think at the end of the day, they will show that there was no wrongdoing.
How did you feel about that? I mean, out of the blue, no warning to you, and they're ransacking your place.
Well, again, it certainly is one of those situations that I don't wish on anybody. But again, working with my attorney, you heard what my attorney said. And again, we will continue working with our law enforcement. And I think at the end of the day, it will show that there was no wrongdoing.
All right. Do you know what they were looking for or what they thought they were looking for?
Well, I'll leave it to my attorneys to go ahead and go into details. But
you know enough to say that you are not a target of something the FBI might be looking for. That you're pretty sure of.
That is what my attorney has told me. Yes, sir.
Okay. Congressman, thank you very, very much. Henry Cuellar, the Texas congressman, was warning about what was going on at the border for anyone, and certainly before these now 46 other Democratic politicians were jumping on the Title 42 bandwagon.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.